Hi everyone, I'm Monet, and today I have a vinyasa flow for you that involves all of my favorite yoga poses named after animals. The early yogis were very influenced by nature and by what they saw around them, and so it is really no surprise that a lot of yoga poses are named after animals. So grab a yoga mat and let's get started with this animal flow. I'm going to go ahead and get started on my mat in a pose that's called butterfly pose. And this pose brings together the soles of your feet like this. And take a deep breath in so your spine is long. You can hang on to your ankles. Maybe your legs come together sort of really tight in like this if you're really flexible, or maybe they're out like this, maybe they're way out like this. Wherever your feet can sort of comfortably hang out, this is called butterfly pose. Make sure your back is straight, your neck is long, your shoulders are dropped, and if you want to flap your legs like butterfly wings, that's part of the reason why this pose is called that. Who doesn't love butterflies? Deep breath in and out. And another breath in stillness here and out. And then let's gently transition onto our hands and knees for what's called cat and cow pose. Now, this is two animals in one, right? So you start in tabletop like this with a flat back, and be sure your knees are pretty much under your hips and your wrists are under your shoulders. And then from here, as you take a deep breath in and lower your belly toward the ground, your head raises up. This is called cow pose. So just imagine a cow in the field, looking up at the sun, enjoying the pasture. And then as you exhale, you sort of push the ground away from you. Your back arches in the exact opposite direction, and you become a cat, right? Imagine here a black cat on Halloween with their back arched way up and their head tucked. And then again, inhale, belly drops, head comes up toward the sky, beautiful cow. And then exhale, round that back, tuck your chin, scary cat. Do a few more of these. Inhale to cow, arch the belly down, and exhale to cat, arch that back up. And then return to a neutral spine, tuck your toes, and push your hips back and up into classic yoga pose, downward dog. Push back in your hips, strengthen and lengthen in your arms. You can pedal out your feet one at a time, working those heels toward your mat. Anyone who has owned a dog has seen them wake up from a nap on the couch or the bed or the floor and immediately, instinctively do a big doggy stretch like this. And that's why this is called downward dog. Feels so nice on your back, and they just know that this is going to open them up for the day. And bring yourself forward into plank. Plank is not an animal, but we'll just come forward like this so that you can bend your arms and lower all the way down to the ground. Forehead on the mat. Keep your hands under your shoulders and push your chest up into a pose called Cobra pose. Maybe your chest comes up like this. Maybe it only comes up a little bit. Be mindful of your back. This can be really intense right here. If it's too much, come back down. Take a breath And gently lift up again. Shoulders are pulling back, heart is coming forward, head is lifted. Imagine being a cobra ready to pounce on its prey. And exhale down. We'll do one more. Inhale up to cobra. And exhale down. On your next inhale, go ahead and push yourself back up to that tabletop position. Tuck your toes. Push back up into downward dog. And then slowly and carefully walk your feet up to your hands. Hang in forward fold for a moment. Come halfway up. Just transitioning between animals by using a couple other of our favorite poses. Fall down into forward fold. And then backwards dive up to a standing position. And lower your hands to your heart. Take a few breaths here. For this next move, I'm going to come face you because it's a little complicated. The next animal I want to imitate is eagle. And for anyone who's done eagle before, you know it's a little tricky, but do the best that you can. Go ahead and raise your arms out in front of you. Lower your right hand under your left and twist your arms around each other. Now you may only get this far. You may only get this far. If this is easier for you, go ahead and hug your shoulders. Otherwise, come this far where the backs of your hands are together, or all the way around if you can get your palms together. Hold those arms out in front of you, elbows up, fingers reaching toward the sky. And then you're going to sit back, lower down, lift your right leg and wrap it around your left leg. Now you might only get here. Heck, you might only get here. But go as far around as you can, and if you can, sit down into this pose, arms wrapped, legs wrapped. You have accomplished eagle. Couple more breaths here. And then on your next exhale, stand up and unwind. Good job. Shake it out, and we'll try it on the other side. This time, arms out in front of you, left arm comes under right arm. Find your hand positioning. Maybe it's right here, nice and comfy way to do eagle, or back of your palms together, or all the way around like this. Okay? And then once you have that, and your elbows are out in front of you, hands reaching toward the sky, begin to lower down as you lift your left leg and wrap it around the right as you sit back into your eagle. Maybe you only come this far. That's a great step for today. Maybe you wrap around and can sit back into your eagle. Deep breaths here. Find a focus point to look at off in the distance to help your balance. Another deep breath in, and on your next exhale, let it all go. Eagle. Well done. The last pose I want to work on with you today is called Pigeon. So let's inhale up to get ourselves down to the floor. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Step back to plank just for a moment so you can bring yourself up to downward dog. Once you're in downward dog, lift your right leg up behind you and then bend that knee, bring it forward so your right knee comes up to your right elbow. Plant your front leg down, Flip your back leg, lower your back knee, and push that back leg back. How appropriate that my doggie's coming during animal pose time. Some of you will stay in pigeon just like this. I love. Do you like pigeons? She loves pigeons, actually. Okay, dokie. Some of you will stay like this in pigeon. You'll feel an enormous stretch in your right hip. Others of you might be able to come down onto your elbows, and a few of you will be able to come and bring your head down. We'll stay here for a couple breaths. If you're new to pigeon, this will be very intense. And if at any point it's too much, walk yourself back up and do pigeon from here. If you are lowered all the way down, go ahead and walk yourself up to transition like this. Tuck your back toes, raise your back leg, and push up to downward dog. Wiggle that out a little bit. And then go ahead and lift your left leg up in the air. Bend your knee, bring your knee up toward your left elbow, and then plant that leg on the ground. Flip the back leg, lower the knee down, push back. Your heart is facing forward. Your leg is straight out behind you. You might take a peek and check to make sure it's parallel with the sides of the mat. And then those of you who can come down onto your elbows can come down onto your elbows. And those of you who can come all the way down to the floor, go ahead and do that. Notice if your hips feel different from side to side. Maybe the other side was harder and this side is slightly easier, or vice versa. Pay attention to those things. And then slowly push back up. Raise your chest up. Tuck your back leg, raise your leg. Push back to downward dog. And then what I want you to do is slowly walk your feet up to meet your hands, and then crisscross your legs behind you so that you can squat down and come back to a seated position. And we will end this session where we began, in butterfly. Bring your legs back to where the soles of your feet are together. Give the legs a nice little flap of the butterfly wings. Bring your hands to your heart. And namaste. I hope you enjoyed those yoga poses named after animals. Have a great day.